Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
What's going on, guys? It's Tom here from The Razor's Edge, and I'm here with Josh Todd of Buckcherry. How are you doing, my friend? Are you well?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm at home for a minute. I was just finished a few weeks out on the road and getting a little rest and then going back out again.
Yeah, I noticed you're on tour for like the rest of the year from the end of this month.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a typical touring cycle on a record for this band. We're looking forward to it. Shows are doing really well right now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely. Let's go back a little bit, quickly. How was the last couple of years been for you with the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, for everyone, it was very challenging navigating through all that, and thank God we had a record to work on at that time. We made a great record called Hellbound and managed to tour a lot on that record, as we navigated through all the COVID guidelines, so I'm glad that period of time is over for now. It's been kind of back to normal right now, so hopefully it'll stay that way for a while.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I can't imagine we'll ever go back to that in our lifetime. So no, it's good.
Hopefully,
So obviously, sorry.
Hopefully not.
Let's go even further back, Josh. Like, what made you want to be a musician in the first place? What inspired you?
Oh wow, it's a good question. I grew up in Southern California. When I was a real young kid, I wanted to be a pro surfer. So I would take public transportation down to the beach. I didn't live close to the beach. It was like a 45-minute ride on the bus, and you could bring your surfboard on the bus. And anyways, I surfed religiously for a lot of years, and then I got into high school, and there was only one band, and the drummer was a surfer, and we would surf together. And I don't know what he saw in me, because I wasn't a singer at the time, but I was a huge music fan. I had a huge music collection, a lot of independent records, and knew a lot about music. And I had a knack for writing words. I did a lot of creative writing prior to getting into my first band. And anyways, he said, "Oh, we need a singer if you want to come down and jam with us." And so I went to they jammed it out in one of the guitar players' garages, and went down there, and I asked my grandfather to get me a microphone. I didn't know anything about audio or anything. I just plugged it into a guitar. I plugged it into a guitar amp. I just started screaming, and it was all distorted. And, we were like a little punk rock band, and, they were all wanting to do covers at the time. And that very first rehearsal, I was just like, I just kind of intuitively just started conducting the rehearsal. I was like, let's write an original song. And I just started, I asked the guitar player, "Do you got any riffs?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he ripped out a riff, and I go, "That's good." And I got on the ground, and I just wrote a song right there, and very quickly. It wasn't a great song, but I wrote it, and we just wrote a song that day. And that was it. I was like, this is amazing. I mean, for myself, that's what I was saying to myself when I left there. I'm like, this is all I want to do. This is my calling. This is it. I was really searching, and so then I started really working on trying to develop my voice after that, and that was it. They wanted me in the band, and that was my first band. And, we were too young to play clubs, so we played house parties all over Orange County.
That's absolutely incredible. I love that. So, what, have you gone back to surfing at all? Did you miss it?
I love it, but it was just like, I'm a pretty committed guy. And once I decided that music was my path, I just worked really hard every day on it. I would surf occasionally, but not like I was surfing at that point,
That's incredible. I mean, where does the actual, I think I know where this is going. Where does Buckcherry come from? How does the name originated?
Yeah, it's a couple things. We were originally called Sparrow. When we got signed, we were Sparrow, and that was the name of the band. And there was a Christian rock label called Sparrow Records, and for copyright reasons, we couldn't use the name. And so when we were playing clubs prior to getting signed, there was this transvestite that used to come to I don't even know if you can use that term anymore, but
You can, you can.
would come to the shows and bum cigarettes off of Keith at the time, and his name was Buckcherry, and we thought that was kind of unique, and then it came up again. You know, we were making our first record, and we had to come up with a new band name, and it was becoming a nightmare. We would all come in with lists of names, and nobody could agree on anything. And at the time, Keith was reading a book on Chuck Berry's life, and he had a quote in there that said, you know, record companies will try to make you do all kinds of things you don't want to do, like turn your name upside down and, like, you know, call me Buckcherry or something. You know, it was in there again, and we were like, oh my God, there it is again. And we just wanted a name that you could remember, you know, that was kind of hooky, and so we went with it, and the rest is history.
It's amazing. That's such a great story. How did you guys all get together then originally? How did you meet the band?
Keith and I met first through a tattoo artist, and we started writing on a 4-track demo machine, 4-track recorder in my room. Actually, I was already making demos on my own, and then so then we started writing songs. We were just kind of feeling each other out, and we started figuring out that we could write songs together, and that we had, you know, kind of the same interests, and we just started getting a band together, you know, because I was in a band prior to that for 4 years. This band Slamhound in LA. It was a great band, but we were just a train wreck. You know, we were all, you know, pretty fucked up on drugs and alcohol, and, you know, we had an independent label deal for a little while, and it just kind of imploded right at the end. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. You know, I got sober at that point, and I was about a year into my sobriety when I met Keith.
It's awesome. So it's obviously like you're meant for bigger and better things, sort of thing.
Absolutely.
So lyrics wise, then, before we get to the new album, lyrics wise, are they very personal to you? Like you said, because you did creative writing, that sort of thing, enjoyed writing. Like, what do you base your lyrics on?
I like telling stories, you know. I've written all the lyrics for Buckcherry's records, you know, and they're all personal to me. I couldn't imagine singing songs that I hadn't written the words to, you know, when I don't know if I could feel them, you know. But, you know, the key to writing songs, I mean, you can write a lot of songs, but the key to writing good songs, in my opinion, is to kind of take a little bit of yourself and attach it to the song, and then kind of mold it in a way that you think a lot of people can relate to. And songs are emotions, songs are short stories. You know, so that being said, I really pay attention to people. I don't really like to interact with people that much. I'm very socially awkward, but I like to observe people, and I like to listen to people's conversations, and I love to go see movies, and I love reading books. And so all that is in my head, you know. And so when I do have a song that has no lyrics or melodies, it becomes like this blank canvas, and I get to paint it with my words and melodies, and that's really what it is. And I enjoy it. So it's really a labor of love, and it comes very natural to me. And that's why I continue to make records to this day, because it's challenging and it's a lot of fun.
That's incredible. I mean, and then now you're 10 records deep, which is absolutely phenomenal. You know, you're definitely hitting that hierarchy of like legendary band, because there's so many bands out there that release like 2 records, then write a book. You're like, well, hang on a second, you've not really done anything yet. What's going on here?
Yeah, you know, and thank you for that. That's very nice of you to say. You know, I just, you know, I got in this to work. You know what I mean? Like when I was dreaming about a music career, I wanted a career. I wanted a catalog of music. I wanted a lot of records. I wanted, you know, I enjoy that. You know, I couldn't imagine like doing 2 or 3 records and that being my whole music career and just like constantly going out and doing that set like over and over. I don't understand that, you know. I got to continue to grow, and I'm always growing. I'm always a student of the game. And so therefore I really get fired up to create something new and to see if I can outdo what I did before, you know. So yeah, always going to do that until I can't do it anymore, you know.
Yeah, you've got quite an iconic voice, I feel, as well. You could definitely tell it's you. Do you know what I mean? There's so many
Yeah.
singers that obviously sound very similar, but yours is very it's like, oh, there's Josh. Yeah, it's definitely Josh.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, sometimes it's an asset and sometimes it's a liability for sure.
Picking a set list for tour must be horrific now.
It's really yeah, it's challenging, but we finally have a set list that I feel is like arena worthy. You know what I mean? Like there is not a bad song. We can go out there and do like multiple versions of sets and kind of keep a structure and of like usual suspects, like that's what I call them, like Lit Up and Crazy Bitch and Riding and Sorry and stuff like that. And then all these, like I feel like the last 2 records, Hellbound and Volume 10, that's going to be dropping June 2nd, are our best works. So like putting these songs in the set has been just like it's now over the top. You know, I feel like, you know, it's like it's very exciting, and you can feel it with the amongst the band members. You know, we're just we know we have the ammunition now that's not like we didn't have it before, but like this is at a whole new level, and very, very excited about that.
Yeah, no, I listened to. You mentioned it, so we'll bring it up. I listened to Volume 10 today, and what it's such a strong record. I think it's going to blow people's minds when it's released. Let's say Friday, June 2nd. Are you excited for it to come out?
Absolutely, and you know, thanks for that compliment. You know, I'm so glad that you listened to it because, you know, we've been sitting on this since October of last year, so we're like really excited for people to actually hear it because you know, that's why you do it. You want, you know, people to have an experience to it, and I love getting that positive feedback, you know. Songs like Feels Like Love Live and Pain and, you know, Good Time and Let's Get Wild, and it's all like working. Like when we're doing this stuff live, you know, some of these songs people they haven't even heard yet, and they're singing the lyrics because I don't know, maybe somebody posted the first time that we did it live and they already learned the song, you know. It's like it's really cool.
Yeah, that must be an unreal feeling to have people just singing and screaming your lyrics back at you.
Yeah, I mean that's the icing on the cake for us.
So you've already released 3 tracks, which is Shine Your Light, Let's Get Wild, and Good Time. Like, have these been well received by fans?
Absolutely. Like I said, they go off as like singles that they've heard on the radio for a long time, you know. So that's really cool for us. And, you know, just playing new songs is for any band, you know, because it's the last songs that you wrote is always fun, you know. And so we're having a good time. And then, you know, taking those songs and sprinkling in Hellbound tunes and sprinkling in something from the first record and Time Bomb and 15, it's like, boom, you know, it's like, it's just a very festive evening.
That's absolutely amazing. I mean, I really struggled to pick a favorite because they're all incredibly different but great in their own way. So it's really hard to be like, oh, I like, because then the next one comes out, oh, no, I really like that as well. Oh, and that one. Oh, shit. There's so many on there that are absolutely great. But I picked out Keep On Fighting, One and Only, and Feels Like Love. They really stood out to me. Absolutely. I'm so excited for you to release this record.
Yeah, one and only. I'm so glad you picked that. That's like the sleeper track for me. That's like one of my favorite songs on the record. So I'm glad you like that. And those are all great picks, you know. I think on our Buckcherry Instagram, they just dropped a little clip of Keep on Fighting, which nobody's heard, you know. So that it's cool that it's starting to get circulated, you know. And uh I'm so fired up, you know, because now we're under a month away from this thing to drop, you know. So
Yeah. I mean, what do you think sets this record apart from the other 9 records, though?
I just think maturity, you know what I mean? We have grown so much since record one, and it's, you know, 24 years now. So it's a lot. And like I said, you know, like we're constantly working that songwriting muscle and always thinking about another record and a new record and making a great record. And, you know, there's this chemistry that we have now with me and Stevie and Marty Fredrickson when we go in and write songs. That's really special. And it's like, I don't know, somehow when we get together, you know, we always go to Nashville now, and that's where, you know, Marty has a place in Nashville, and our record label's there as well. And so we always go and do this marathon songwriting session before we actually record the record. And it's like magic all the time now. It's like it happened with Hellbound. And then on this record, we were there for 9 days and we wrote the entire record aside from 2 songs in 9 days. It was really, really special time. And, you know, I could go on and on and on, you know, breaking down specific songs about how they came about, you know, but it was just, you know, Marty really is a talented guy, and he really understands what's great about Buckcherry. He really understands when to allow me to do something in certain sections, and I really and trust him in a way to where I'm like, go with it here, and I'll just let me hear what you got. Let me hear your melody. Scat it to me, and then he'll send me a voice note, and then I'll just write over a melody that he's written, and I like it, you know. And that's how we play off each other, and we're all just in the business of doing what's the best for the song, you know what I mean, and getting the best songs. And it's just becoming this awesome like formula now, and we're just making really great records, and I don't want to stop, you know.
Well, I mean, you've nailed it with this one, so it's going to be great. I
Thank you.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. I do absolutely love that you've gone for a cover at the end. Can we talk about this?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, the cover. Yeah, go ahead.
The Summer of '69 Bryan Adams cover at the end of the album, it just finishes that off deliciously.
Yeah, and you know the way we did it, it sounds like a Buckcherry song. We sped it up just a little bit, and like it's such a great song. We're such huge fans, and you know we would like just pull that out every now and again, just for fun, just for us live, prior to making this record. And one day our manager was there, and he saw us do it, and he's like, "Oh my God, you guys got to record that song." And we're like, "Okay," and you know. That sounds cool. We'll do it, you know, at some point. And didn't really think about it at all after that. And he just kept hammering the issue. And all the way to like, we kept putting it off and putting it off till the end of the writing cycle for volume 10. And then we're like, all right, Larry, we'll knock this out. And this is what happened. I recorded earlier on in the day, I recorded Feels Like Love, right? I sang for over 2 hours, you know, the lead track, doubles, harmonies, everything. And I left, and I'm exhausted. Usually I got nothing left. And then I go eat like a hamburger or something. And I get a text from Marty. He's like, can you just come here and let's just knock out this Summer of '69? And I go, yeah, I can do that. Like, I felt like I had enough, you know? And so I come back at like, you know, early evening, and I just ripped that out very quickly. I mean, I must have recorded that song just everything, doubles, lead, everything in like an hour. And that was it. And it just came out great. And I'm kind of glad it happened that way, you know, because you can hear it on the track. It's just got that raw energy. And it's such a well-written song. You know, Bryan Adams was the king at that point of just writing just amazing hits, you know, and that song was always something that resonated with me since I was a kid, you know. I just, especially when he broke it down and did it acoustically, I was just like, man, I wish I would have written this song. It's so good, you know. So I'm glad we got an opportunity to record it and put it on the record.
No, absolutely. But I mean, I think younger generations, if they didn't know who Bryan Adams was, would think it's a Buckcherry song.
Yeah, and that's good. That's what you want to do. I think we've done that a few times with cover songs over the years, you know, like with Say Fuck It, we kind of made that our own. And, you know, that was, I Love It before. And that took a long time to get signed off on by the people who wrote that song, you know, but I'm glad they did because it goes off huge at the live show.
Yeah, that is a great cover as well. I do love that cover. How do you decide on the track listing for the record? How did you go, right, this song's got to go first, we'll put this in the middle, this got to go at the end?
Yeah, well, originally the Summer of '69 was just going to be a bonus track. That's why it's on 11, because I don't want to do anything but 10-song records. That's it. I just think 10 songs is perfect for a record, you know, and so I didn't want to put any more than 10 songs on it. So, you know, everybody was gunning for Summer of '69. So we just put it on at 11 at the, you know, at the end instead of just doing a bonus track, you know, because really nothing's a bonus track anymore. Everybody just, you know, sees a list of songs and that's it, you know. So that's why we put it on at 11.
Yes, I mean, no one does those songs anymore where it's like 37 minutes long. I was going, what the fuck is this? And it's because there's a hidden track right at the
end. Yeah. 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 I mean, hidden tracks were cool back in the day, but now you can't.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone really. Everyone's like, obviously, no one really listens to CDs anymore. It's all online now, isn't it? It's all Spotify and stuff. So, but then again, they could just move the bar easy. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait 30 minutes to get
nothing. Yeah, nothing's hidden anymore.
So like we said, the tour begins in the American and Canadian tour starts May 26th in Jefferson. Are you excited to get back out on the road again?
I mean, we've already done a lot of shows. You know, we already did a whole leg with Skid Row that was really great, and then we just did a bunch of shows on our own. So we're right in it. You know, yeah, I'm excited. We're already a fine-tuned, oiled machine at this point. So, and like I said, we got all the ammunition that we need. And you know, come June 2nd, when Volume 10 drops, it's going to go up a whole nother level because now everybody's going to know the songs really well when they come to the show, you know? So right now it's just those hardcore Buckcherry fans that know the songs because they've done the research online. But, you know, now people that just have the record and start really listening to the songs it's going to be so cool to know, like, okay, what songs are becoming the most popular, you know, like that's always exciting for us to see.
Are you going to bring the tour over to the UK at all?
Absolutely. We're going to, you know, go worldwide, you know, here. The UK has been, it was just been really challenging getting over there. The last time we had a tour booked, they threw in all these COVID restrictions right before we were coming there with testing. And all of a sudden it just became like a nightmare with the monetarily as far as what we had to spend on just the COVID stuff, you know? And then if anybody got COVID, we had to shut it all down. And it was just like, can't do that, you know? So now everything's changed. So there's talk of us getting there right after the new year because we have all these States and Canadian shows booked this year.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled because I would definitely want to come and see when you can get over here again. I don't know. I think Brexit's made a massive fucking problem with all the tour of all American bands and Canadian bands and anyone outside the UK trying to get here. It's absolutely ridiculous, the laws they've put down now.
Yeah, it became really brutal budget wise for bands, you know. So hopefully, I think it's going to get it all worked out. You know, it was just a nightmare there for a little while. You know, I mean, just to give you an idea, they were going to make us test 3 times before we even got on the ground. So all of our people, and they had to do these PCR tests, which are like almost $300 a pop, you know. So
Oh,
3 times before we get on the ground. And then if anybody's positive, band or crew, we gotta shut it down. It was like, there's no way we're going over there because the out-of-pocket costs on the, I can go down a list. I mean, I know people don't care about that, but it's like, when you factor in plane fare and testing and you're booking hotels and you're booking buses and it's a lot of stuff and you don't want to have to shut it down just because somebody got COVID, so it just couldn't do it.
yeah, no, I think that makes sense, though, to be fair. It's better to be safe. Like you say, you don't want to be spending all this money, then all of a sudden it's like, well, that's now fucked. We have to go back. We're now massively out of pocket.
Yeah, then
So
now you go back and now you're in the red, several $1,000s, it's like, forget that.
yeah, no, absolutely, man. What about festivals? I know you've got this massive American thing, but are there any festivals booked at all, or anything you can talk about in that sort of retrospect?
We're doing Rocklahoma. I think that's booked. There's a bunch of stuff sprinkled in there. The band is always the last to know. We're like, I don't even, I tour, listen, we tour so much that I can't even look at the itinerary until I get to that moment where, okay, I'm a week out. I got to get on the plane. Where am I going? That's really where it's at for me. I like to really just take it one day at a time because I get overwhelmed sometimes when I look at how much is going on. I don't want to get overwhelmed as a singer. I want to take it one day at a time because, sometimes it's a little overwhelming, when you see just blah, 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 all the dates, So um and plus it makes it more exciting that way, when you're waking up and your tour manager's like, yeah, hey, we're playing Rocklahoma on Friday, or we're doing this festival on Saturday. We're going to be in this club tonight. We're going to do this festival over here. And then it becomes cool because I didn't know about it.
Yeah. I'm sorry to bombard you with with all that. I didn't mean to overwhelm you.
No,
Hopefully,
you're not bombarding me.
okay.
It's you can go on buckcherry.com and all the stuff is there for tickets and VIP packages and pre-ordering of the record and vinyl and everything. And at
Wonderful.
Earache Records too. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna one more question. I can let you get on with. I can let you get on with your day. Music videos. Obviously, they were massive back in the day, and obviously now probably not so many people do lyric video stuff. But the process of music videos, Josh, love them or hate them?
You know what? I love them because you get to kind of showcase a song on the record. And it's changed now they're not like these crazy productions with crazy money being spent. You just can't do that anymore. So it's not as like, it's not like going 2 or 3 days on a set and getting a video. You just go there for a day and knock it out, I think for us, we don't really like, we're not really too into like concept videos so much. I mean, it doesn't ever really work super well with this band. We've known over the years of making so many videos. What's really what people like the most about Buckcherry videos is when we do a live type video, where we're performing, and those are always the videos that get the most views. So those are like the funnest for us, I think, because we know that it's the true essence of this band. We built our reputation on our live shows, and I feel like that's why people love this band. So when we do a performance video opposed to a concept video, I think that's where it's at for us.
Absolutely. And I mean, like I said, the 10th record's out, volume 10, Friday, 2nd of June. You're starting to hit that legendary status now because you've got so many records, and I just can't wait to see what happens with you guys in the future.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully, at some point, the powers that be will recognize what we're doing, because I feel like we've been kind of the black sheep of rock and roll. We've been having this very quiet, very long career, for a long time. So, yeah, I hope that we are recognized for that. And I appreciate what you're saying.
Not at all, man. I feel it's coming. Definitely, you definitely are the black. You couldn't have said it any better.
Let's
to be honest
go.
With you.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.